Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, April the 12th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. We are live here on the Daily Crow, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I see Cody Gaskins, Travie, Luke, RJ. What's going on? Also, guys, in the Big Cock Club Discord, have the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure that your questions are answered there. As you can see, the boy in the polo. If you did not know, by the way, if you did not know, we make polos. Got the Beamer Ball polo on today. I felt like I got this a while ago and I just never wear it. And I'm like, I don't think people even realize that we make polos. So obviously I don't rock them a lot, but I thought, you know what? Today is a great day to just switch things up. So anyways, Brian, I appreciate you, my guy. All good. All good, man. Totally understand things happen. So I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much again for the continued love and support. And like I said, guys, really excited to chat with you here on this Tuesday. Also, we got Shane Beamer speaking to the media at 12:30 as we're just days away from the spring game. Very excited for that. No, Luke, trust me, I did not run out of hats to wear. You would be astonished at how many hats I have. I can assure you. Just thought I'd switch it up here a little bit today. Brennan M., what's going on, my guy? Luke, RJ, the way that some people are, like sneakerheads are with shoes, I am that way with hats, bro. I have so many hats. I'm a hat junkie. I love a good hat. I've got basically damn near every single MLB team you can think of. I got plenty of hats. So again, I definitely did not run out of hats to wear, my guy. But either way, appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, Shane Beamer speaking to the media at 12:30. We will not take any breaks before them. We'll run straight through it. We'll take your questions, comments, calls. Also, of course, it is game day as South Carolina baseball takes on North Florida tonight at Founders Park. So again, excited to watch the boys hopefully get back to winning ways, and we'll just see what happens. You look at North Florida, not a great team by any means. So South Carolina played them last year also. It was a close game last year too, you might recall. It was a very, very close ball game at Founders Park. Brennan M. says, good day to be a college student getting assignment extensions. Love to hear that for you, Brendan. Love to hear that. Again, guys, I do want to hear from you. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, some quick content updates, by the way. Of course, no podcast today as normal. We're Monday, Wednesday, Friday now, as you all know. Tomorrow's podcast drop is normal. Fridays is normal. Of course, we're going to really ramp up the football talk and the football coverage, especially really on Friday's show. That'll be a full spring game preview, spring game breakdown, all that good stuff. Tomorrow's podcast, though, because it is a Thursday through Saturday series. So tomorrow's podcast, now that I'm thinking about it, is actually going to be our series preview show. So we will recap the midweek game tonight and talk the series against Ole Miss, because like I said, we won't have a podcast drop until Friday after tomorrow. Yeah, I got to think about that. Yeah, that is right. That is right. So anyways, the thing really to update you on, tomorrow's Daily Crow, right? We don't have a Tin Roof show because women's basketball has their national championship parade, right? Outside the State House. So I think we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're going to switch things up a little bit. This is not 100%, but it's about 99%. I think what we're going to do is, instead of doing the Daily Crow, noon to 2, I think I'm going to go live from the parade at 6 o'clock. That will be the Daily Crow. Part of the other reason is I got offered to play golf tomorrow in a golf tournament and really want to partake in it. So I think tomorrow we might go live at 6 for the Daily Crow. We may not do the normal noon to 2, go live from the parade, be live for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. Give you guys a look at the parade. And I guess I can take questions. I'll stream it live from my phone. But I think tomorrow, again, just stay tuned. I think that's going to be the plan of action. Tomorrow. Guys, I'll be totally honest with you. I feel like this is the time of year where we can be really flexible when it comes to the live show. And, when we're in football season, it's much, much more structured, obviously, and the way things are. But I feel like right now we can really just be flexible. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong in that. I feel like we can, though. And I just thought, how cool would it be to go live from the parade for those who cannot be there, right? Because I'm sure there's many of you, probably most all of you that are tuned in here that won't be at that parade. So really excited for that. Really excited to celebrate Dawn Staley and her team and their national championship and their success and all that good stuff. And, yeah, I think that'll be the plan. Again, so I think the Daily Crow tomorrow, we will not be live noon to 2. I think we'll be live at 6 o'clock and really just go live throughout the parade. Travis Allen says, Chris, I hear all this hype about Archie Manning. Is there not even a sniff of interest? Did we even make an offer? Travis, I don't know, but I don't think he's interested in us, my guy. I haven't heard anything about that. Stephanie Lee, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Appreciate you tuning in. Senna Webster likes the idea, of course. Yeah, we're going to be celebrating the women tomorrow night. Brian Dean says going to the Ole Miss game Saturday and then going to the spring game. That's a great plan. I think yours truly going to be doing the same. I think yours truly is going to be doing the same. So going to be a really, really fun weekend in the city. Going to be a really fun weekend. Like I said, Shane Beamer speaking to the media today at 12:30. I'm sure he'll give us a full update, a full breakdown of just looking ahead to Saturday. And, of course, he's already pleaded for the fan base to show up and show out and do the damn thing. So let's jump to the phone.
Phil Harris.
Phil, what's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. Hey, it's warm here, my guy. Just to give you a little update, we're sitting mid-80s this week.
Oh, yikes. It is 55 degrees, partly cloudy. I think it's going to get up to like mid-60s today, so that's pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
That's pretty good for April.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, man. I wanted to call in and talk about Carolina rugby real quick for the folks that aren't paying attention too much to the club sports. Carolina Rugby hosted their Rugby Sevens tournament, the Gamecocks Invitational, over the weekend. Had a really good tournament. Finished second only to Tennessee. So second place out of, I think, 6 or 8 teams were involved in total. Not bad at all. But the highlight is they beat Clemson 3 times throughout that tournament. Went 3-0 against Clemson, which is absolutely perfect. You don't get that too often in many of the major sports, the varsity sports, if you will. So to beat them on home soil in Columbia, very special for the men's Gamecock rugby team.
Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. Absolutely.
Also to report, we've gotten a couple commitments, I think about 4 or 5 in total, from guys that playing at a very, very high level at high school rugby. And we just had a visit from the best team in the country is actually in Connecticut right now. They're the defending national championships for high school, team by the name of Staples High School. And that one of their recruits came and visited John Roberts and the university and the campus over the weekend. So, John Roberts is turning this program around. Super excited for what's happening with Gamecock rugby right now.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that, man. Coach Roberts is awesome. So I'm not surprised at all at the success you guys are having.
Yeah, man, super excited for them. Hopefully we'll qualify for nationals, which is going to be in New Orleans this year. Should be a good time, and yeah, go Cox.
Appreciate it, Phil. Great stuff as always. Good stuff from our guy, Phil. Gamecock Rugby. Be sure to support the boys. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Justin Langford says, Tennessee baseball's rolling. Yeah, and I know Rebecca hates Tennessee. I mean, I know we all do, but yeah, they are crushing, man. They are crushing. I don't know if you guys saw, Tennessee's actually playing in a game tonight. I forget exactly who it's against, but they're playing at a minor league stadium, and they're playing with wood bats. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Luke RJ, can Spencer Rattler be the first all-SEC quarterback for South Carolina? Can he? Sure. I mean, he's obviously got the talent. Will he? You think about who's going to be all-SEC this year. Bryce Young. I mean, who are the lead candidates, we'll say? Bryce Young for sure. I mean, he's going to be first team. There's just no doubt. Bryce Young, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee. I think Jackson Dart at Ole Miss has got a chance just because of the offense he plays in. KJ Jefferson at Arkansas. Will Levis at State. I don't think Levis will get it, though. So, I mean, I think it's possible. I think a lot of the all-conference teams, man, your team needs to have a successful year also. So, I mean, listen, if we go 9-3 and he throws 30 touchdowns, yeah, I think he's all SEC for sure. Yeah. So, yeah, Brian Dean, both Levesque and Woodley following Frank Martin to UMass. So, whatever. Is what it is. Is what it is. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. You can call that number, text that number. Really excited to chat with you here on this Tuesday. Like I said, guys, in case you missed it, A content update for the week. A content update for the week. Tomorrow's Daily Crow. I'm going to go ahead and just confirm it. It will not be noon to 2. It will not be noon to 2. Instead, we'll go live from the parade, the National Championship Parade celebrating women's basketball. We'll go live. I'll go live from my phone at 6 o'clock. I'll go live from my phone at 6 o'clock. So I'll be out there streaming. Obviously, I'm not going to be live for 2 hours, but we'll be out there streaming that live.
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Herb Street.
Robbie, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you asking.
Every time you do a show without a hat, it feels weird.
Well, I mean, you think of I don't know how many shows I've done in total, how many Daily Crows. That'd be a fun thing to go back and like count them all. But the amount that I've done without a hat, I could probably count on one hand. That's probably why it's weird.
Honestly, if I don't wear a hat, I feel naked. To be honest with you, I feel really.
Well,
naked.
I just thought I'd switch it up, my guy. We got the polo on. I don't know. My barber did a good job at the other weekend.
Before the press conference.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to call real quick and just give you my prediction for tonight. I think I don't know why, but I think we'll bounce back tonight, and I got us winning 4-2 tonight against North Florida. Is that who we're playing?
Yes, the North Florida Ospreys.
Okay, and also I wanted to give a birthday shout out to a friend of mine that goes to Clemson. Even though he goes to Clemson, I wanted to give him a birthday shout out. His name is Quinn Kinsey.
Very good. Love that, Robbie. Love that. Little birthday shout out.
Probably, and also merch update from my father, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out today. I found out earlier this week that he's getting collectible shot glasses this week.
Really?
So they'll be in, I think he said Friday. So sometime Friday, I need to be looking out for the mail.
Very good. Very good. Love that.
But
I need to get one.
My prediction is 4-2, and as far as I know, me and my dad will definitely be at the spring game. As far as I know, unless something drastic happens.
You're going to be at the spring game, Robbie.
Of course.
Love to hear that, my
guy. That was the plan from the get-go.
We got to meet up.
Meet up at the spring game. It'll be not exactly on the anniversary, because the anniversary of the first day we met is coming up.
It is
April 25th.
I love that.
But that's my prediction. I don't know who's pitching tonight, but
Eli Jones. Eli Jones.
Okay.
Youngster. He's pitched. He started the last 2 midweek games.
Okay. Did he do pretty good in those games?
He threw really well last week, yeah, against North Carolina. He threw really well.
Okay. But that was my prediction. You have a great rest of your day, and leave the dumb stuff to me.
Robbie, I appreciate that, my friend. I will do my best. Thank you, sir. You have a great day. Take care. Really, really good stuff from Robbie Davis. Real quick, guys, my buddy Brad Crawford over at 24/7 Sports, he wrote an article, just dropped it, College Football's Rising Stars. 22 players to watch ahead of the 2022 season. You click on the link and you scroll down, and what do you know at 21? Antoine Wells, the wide receiver for the Gamecocks. And this is what he has to say. SEC fans haven't heard of this player yet, but they will early on in September when Wells shines as one of the Gamecocks' top targets offensively. The transfer from James Madison shredded lower-level competition last season with 83 catches for 1,250 yards and 15 touchdowns. All single-season program records, and spring intel suggests he's ready to do the same in Columbia. So Antoine Wells, Luke Doty, obviously, when we talked to Luke, he was really high on Antoine Wells. So that was the guy that was really standing out to him in spring ball. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see the battle between who's going to be wide receiver 1, Josh Vann or Antoine Wells. And I think right now you nod to Josh Vann because what he did last year. But, it's a great problem to have. I mean, it's not a problem. It's having competitive depth and having multiple guys on the outside that can win. And then you add in Spencer Rattler, and the passing game should be much, much improved for South Carolina. Brian Dean, first 2 football game predictions. South Carolina 44, Georgia State 10, and then South Carolina 31, Arkansas 27. That would be a huge win in Fayetteville, man. It's going to be a tough game. Arkansas is a good team. Flat out. So, yeah, that'd be a good one for sure. That'd be a really, really good one. I hope it happens, Brian. Hope it happens. I will say this, by the way, guys. This is just so random. Kind of a side note, if you will, and I'll make it short and sweet. We talk Gamecocks on this show, obviously, but life does happen outside of South Carolina athletics and sports and all that good stuff. So, I just want you guys to know if there's ever anything going on, you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to me. Again, we all go through things in life. So if you guys ever need someone to just lend an ear or someone to talk through things with, yours truly, I will do everything I can to be that, be that person on the other side. So again, like I said, I know that's pretty deep and serious for what we do here on the Daily Crow, but I just want you guys to know, again, I know that life isn't just South Carolina athletics. It's far beyond it. Life isn't just the Daily Crow or a podcast. Life really happens, and life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. So if you guys ever have anything going on, and like I said, you just need somebody to listen, just somebody to talk to, I would love to do everything I can to be that, just be that person there, just to be a person there for you. So Austin Greer, living well, my friend, living well. Just waiting on Shane Beamer's presser. Hanging out. Let's see. Rebecca says, Tennessee and Clemson is bad words. That will set me off, because I don't feel like bitching today. But started a new job doing DoorDash. How about that, Rebecca? Congratulations. Started a new job. Congratulations, Rebecca. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Glad to hear that for you, Rebecca. Glad to hear that for you. Let's see. Brian Dean says the hype around Rattler's awesome. You would have to go back to 79-80 to find another player that hyped number 38 George Rogers. Brian, I think we've had other players of big time hype. I mean, you don't think Jadeveon Clowney was hyped? I mean, certainly he was. I mean, yeah. Okay, Christmas Shane Beamer throwing out the first pitch at softball against Clemson. How about that? How about that? That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. Hopefully that sparks our team to a win. We have not had a whole lot of success against them for whatever reason. So. Again, guys, just to let you know, we will be live for Shane Beamer's presser at 12:30. That's upcoming here in about 10 minutes or so. So you can stay right here if you want to watch that. Justin, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Austin Greer, never having an SEC, all SEC quarterback's pretty insane. I mean, it explains a lot, Austin. It explains a lot. And I know Connor Shaw got snubbed. I get that. When he played, I know there were other good players, but certainly I think we all feel like he got snubbed to a degree. But, it does explain a lot. You know what I mean? If we really had that elite guy, that our history probably would be different. So for whatever reason, we just hasn't clicked totally at that position. So, I tell you, that would be huge if number one, Spencer Rattler gets drafted. Number two, if he's an all SEC quarterback, what it does to change the narrative around that position in Columbia. What it does to change the narrative around that position. Let's see. Somebody texted in, even if Kingston should be fired, will there be an appetite to fire him by the admin given the grief the Board of Trustees has been getting for the Muschamp and Martin buyouts? I guess that does factor in. My guy. I don't know. Again, that's so beyond me. I know the board is going through it. There's a lot of moving pieces right now. There's a lot of dysfunction right now. But I mean, again, man, if you don't make the postseason, I don't see how you bring him back. But God, it's just there's so much volatility in the athletic department, man. I mean, if you fire Mark Kingston, again, guys, I talked about this last week. If you fire Mark Kingston, you will have gone through coaching changes in all three of your major men's sports within a 2-year span, less than 2 years. I mean, that just speaks to how bad things have been. Somebody texts in, was the 2020 women's basketball team better than the 2022 team? It might be. That's tough to say, man. I mean, I know 2020, we should have won a national title, but I guess we'll never know. As Kanye once said, I guess we'll never know. CJ Curry, what's up, my guy? What's up, CJ? Appreciate you tuning in, my dude. Jesse Jacobs, it's been a while. What's the deal with this squad on the diamond? A lot of problems, Jesse. Where do you want to start? Lack of arms, lack of consistency swinging it. Justin, I mean, dude, the Carolina Polo, we got the Beamer ball, my guy. Got the Beamer ball. The Beamer ball. Justin says, rocking the Carolina Polo today, my guy. I see you when you got a meeting at 12. Have to gun Brewski's at 5. Multifunctional. Yeah, Brian, I mean, listen, dude, it's a 162-game season. I'm not going to stress over a 2-3 start. So. Anyways, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Luke RJ, what company makes that polo? My company. Luke, this is on our store. Luke. Oh, Gildan. This is Gildan. No, it's not like an Under Armour polo, Luke. It isn't. I like it, though. I like the quality, honestly. I like the quality. I would say they definitely fit a little big. I'm wearing a large right now. I normally wear an extra large, so if you do order a polo from us, they fit, I would say, a size larger than normal. Yeah, so. Anyways, guys, Shane Beamer speaking to the media. Less than just about 7 minutes or so until he goes live. About 7 minutes or so. Somebody says, if we get rid of Kingston, do we go after Landon Powell? I don't think so. I think that is – I think we've gotten so attached because of Beamer to like we got to go get an alumni or somebody who's got Gamecock ties. I like Landon Powell, but guys, just because you win at North Greenville, that doesn't mean to me that you're going to, that doesn't mean to me that you're going to be a great coach here. I'm sorry. Austin, you're going to make some shirts with the Comfort Colors. I agree, dude. Comfort Colors is superior. No doubt. Comfort Colors is superior. So, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, Austin, for sure. I agree with you. If my vendor right now offered Comfort Colors, all shirts I make would be in that. No question. I'll tell you this, Austin. I guess if somebody takes the idea, so be it. But I've really got, because, you guys know I love the vintage stuff. Like, I love vintage apparel and just, rocking vintage, whatever, T-shirts, hats, all that good stuff. I would love to make a shirt on Comfort Colors and it almost like look like a vintage shirt and be like, you know how like you get a T-shirt at a concert or whatever, and on the back it's got like all the tour dates and the cities and the dates and all that. I would love to do that, like almost like on the front, do like the 2022 Beamer Ball tour, and on the back literally have like it looked like concert dates, but it's the dates of our games. You know what I mean? Like the 2022 schedule. I don't know. I think that would be cool. I don't know. I just an idea I've had. So, Luke RJ, do you think we struggle on offense like last year? We were bad game to game, but looked great in the bowl game with extra time to prepare. Luke RJ, if we do, Marcus Satterfield will be fired. We should be a lot better offensively. I mean, no doubt. We should be tons better offensively. I think that goes without saying, Luke RJ. We should be worlds better. what were we, 116th nationally in offense? We should be, in my opinion, top 50. We should. With all the pieces we added, adding Spencer Rattler, we should be a top 50 offense. We should average 30 points per game. Like, we should. We should. We absolutely should. So, I don't know. CJ Curry says next year will be the better arms. The players are behind Kingston until definitely make changes. I know it's year one, but hard to look at our pitchers and say we weren't better last year. It's year one. What do you mean, CJ? It's year one. I know it's year one for the new pitching coach, but CJ, I hear you, man. And I just look at our team, dude. Last in ERA, last in average. I mean, come on, dude. Come on, man. JB says we're in a position to go out to hire a big-time power 5 base coach. After the last 2 failed hire seasons, we are destined to make a splash hire. Yeah, Jay, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I really don't know. Let's see. Probably going to have to pull this up on Twitter. It's weird, like the YouTube feed. The YouTube feed kind of stinks. So, yeah, CJ again, man. I'll just say this: it's year 5, season 4 of Kingston. You don't make the postseason this year, I'd be totally. I'll be totally fine with moving on from him. Luke RJ said, "What was the clip about overreacting in the spring game? Can you talk about that a little more? I missed it." No, Luke, I was just saying yesterday, and I said it last year, and I'll say it again. It's just overreacting to a spring game. I mean, you just can't really draw conclusions from a spring game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You just can't really draw conclusions from a spring game. I mean, it's a great opportunity to see new guys and see these transfers, see Rattler, see this team. But just because something happens in a spring game, it doesn't mean that it's fact. You know what I mean? Like, if Rattler goes out there and throws for 300, it's not, oh, well, the defense sucks. And if Rattler, if he goes out there and throws 3 picks, it's not, oh, my God, well, Rattler's just terrible. Like, drawing conclusions from a spring game will just drive you nuts. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Just take it with a grain of salt. Just take it with a grain of salt. Take it for what it is. It's a spring game, right? I mean, listen, I know we're going to be dissecting it, breaking it down, talking about it basically for the next 5 months. I get all that. But just know in doing that, it's like, it gives us some indication. We get a look at some guys, but it doesn't mean for certain this is this. You know what I mean? Like, we don't play guys for another, 5 months? I mean, a lot can change still. So CJ Curry says baseball is one of the more complicated sports to judge a coach year 3. It's not year 3, CJ. It's year 4. It's season 4, year 5. He says, to me, it's baseball. I agree with the outlook on the season so far, but the outlook of it is baseball is a complicated sport. I understand that, CJ, but again, it's not year 3, my guy. It is year 4. And I don't know, man. Like, I hear what you're saying. Bro, but I don't know. The decisions in game, my guy, alarming. They're alarming. They are alarming, my dude. They're alarming. Like the Becker thing. That is alarming. That is alarming. Let's see. Looks like things are live on YouTube. I'm waiting for this link to drop on Twitter. Because usually the link on Twitter is so much better. Braddock says, how do you feel about the linebacker position this year? I think it's still a question. Getting Sherrod Green back is a huge plus. Stone Blanton, I think, needs to play a lot early. Mo Kaba needs to step up. I still don't look at it as a position of strength. But, think we have some talent there, but I wouldn't look at the linebackers as like a group I'm leaning on necessarily. So hopefully I'm wrong. We need them to step up. I mean, you can definitely point to that position in regards to woes stopping the run. All right, let's go ahead and share this screen. I don't know. We'll share the YouTube side. We'll share YouTube. $12:31. He hasn't gone live yet. Okay, guys, we are waiting. Like I said, we are waiting on Shane Beamer. Austin Greer says EJ Jenkins won't see the field this year. I think they'll use him at tight end, Austin. I think they'll probably use him at tight end. So. Where is Beamer?
Being under pressure before the spring game this year.
Wow. Here we go.
All
right.
That's right. Expect to see everybody out there. Good. Thanks. Appreciate everybody being here again. Like Steve said, last one. It's hard to believe we're in our last week of spring practice and just finished practice number 13. It's flown by, but really proud of our guys and the way they've worked this spring. As well. Looking forward to this weekend. Before we get going on that, just from going back to last Saturday, our second scrimmage, was really pleased with that. I thought it was much better on both sides of the ball, all three phases, offense, defense, special teams. We talked last week, way too many turnovers on offense. They cut that to 1 on Saturday in the scrimmage, no fumbles, 1 interception on a play that Donovan Westmoreland, our freshman linebacker, made a heck of a break on a quick game throw. But only 1 turnover. Thought it was really competitive, everything that we talk about as a program. We talked about wanting to see physicality, effort, competitive plays, toughness, and saw all that, like the group, and so was pleased with the way things went on Saturday. Both sides as well. The offense got off to a great start in the scrimmage on Saturday, and then defense kind of turned it around, and then got some good 2-minute work at the end of the scrimmage as well. Today was another great day. Great spirit again. We can't think back, or thinking back throughout the spring, can't think back to one practice where it wasn't. I love this group. I love the way they work. I love the way they compete and the effort they play with. Today was practice 13. Really emphasized all of our situational stuff again today, since it's our last day in pads until the spring game. 2-point plays was the emphasis, or the situation that we did today. You guys that were out there at the beginning of practice saw that. It was a 2-point play competition, and it was a dominating performance by the defense. I think they went 7-0. It was a best out of 7. So obviously not the start we wanted to get off to offensively, but proud of the offense. What you guys didn't see was the rest of the practice. We did some third down work. We did some red zone work. We did some first and second down work, and then we finished with a 2-minute drill at the end of practice, where the offense needed a touchdown to win. And the first offense went out there, scored a touchdown on a walk-off touchdown pass to, I believe it was Trey Atkins. And then the second time was Luke Doty at quarterback, and there were some questionable calls by the head official, being me, whether there were sacks or not. So sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was videoing a couple of these plays in question and sending them to the defensive linemen that thought I was cheating them, that they got a sack. It wasn't a sack in my opinion, but ended up being a walk-off touchdown pass from Luke Doty to Omega Blake, or as Pete Lembo calls him, the Alpha and the Omega Blake as well. But it was good to see, in all seriousness, good to see the offense respond and finish. We've been really emphasizing with them finishing practices, finishing scrimmages, 2-minute drills, all that. And they did a good job of that today at the end. So really competitive, spirited practice. Another great day with recruits that were out there as well. It's been pretty awesome through 13 spring practices. I mean, we've had difference makers on our campus for all 13 practices that have been here visiting. A lot of guys are on spring break this week, and it was good to see some difference makers out on the practice field today. We'll have some more on Thursday. And then a lot of guys that will be here this weekend as well, getting into Saturday or throughout the rest of the week. I know tomorrow's going to be a great day with the parade for Coach Staley and the women's basketball team. Certainly what an awesome opportunity that is for our community to get out and salute them one more time for bringing a national championship, another one, back to Columbia. So that'll be fun. And then just really to kick off this weekend, I know there's going to be a ton of amazing athletic events on our campus this weekend. Encourage Gamecock Nation to get out and support all of our teams that'll be out here competing this weekend. DJ Swearinger has his celebrity basketball game on Friday night, and from talking to him, I know he's excited about that and looking forward to seeing him back here this week as well. And then all the former players that'll be here for that game, and then the spring game as well. Spring game specifically, we need a great, talked about it last week, need a great crowd out there. We've got an awesome group of recruits that'll be coming. It's a great opportunity to see so many new faces on our football team for the first time. But more importantly, just to, these guys deserve a great crowd out there on Saturday night for the way that they've worked since they came back in January to start the spring semester, and then with what they've done through spring practice as well. I hope we'll have an amazing crowd out there on Saturday night to salute these guys, and there's some great festivities planned and some great things post-game as well. Should be a lot of fun, so I hope to see a lot of Gamecock Nation out there on Saturday night because the next time we're in that stadium in front of a crowd like that will be when we're kicking off this season for real. And, I don't want to get on the soapbox, but we're the one sport at any level that doesn't get a preseason game or a scrimmage or an exhibition game, which is dumb, in my opinion. I've been talking about this since I was here as an assistant coach before, that it would make sense to have some sort of preseason game or exhibition game, but we don't. So the more opportunities our players have to play in front of a crowd in Williams-Brice Stadium, the better. So we need it. Our guys got a lot of young players that'll be in that stadium playing in front of a crowd for the first time, and they need all that experience they can get. So encourage the fans to come out, and should be a great night for South Carolina football. The game specifically, it's gonna be a true game. We're gonna break it up. We're gonna break the teams up, and we're gonna play it like a game. It's not gonna be offense, defense. I know last year, because of our depth, I think we played the first half, and then the second half was just some competitive third down, red zone, goal line things. We're not going to do that. We're going to play 4 quarters. We're going to get some special teams work in there as well. We've been competing on special teams throughout the spring. We have 4. Our team is divided up into 4 teams for special teams, and each team has a captain, and each team has a team name that they came up with. Each team has a theme song that's their team. So they've been competing since day one of spring practice. So we'll have kind of the grand finale of that competition. The Street Runners, the Certified Steppas, which is Coach Stepp's team, the Goon Squad, and Members Only are the 4 teams. So they'll be competing to be for the ultimate champion on Saturday night in the scrimmage. And then, like I said, it'll be offense, defense, 4 quarters, true team, true game. And then, again, we're going to break it up. So it's going to be as even as possible. Offensive starters on both teams, defensive starters on both teams, and let these guys go play. And hope our fans will enjoy that. I know I'm looking forward to it. Got a lot of work to do until then, correcting today's practice, meetings and walkthrough and lift weights tomorrow. Practice again on Thursday to try and clean everything up and do some situational work on Thursday as well, some in-the-game situations that we'll install. And then a Friday, meet, lift, walk through again, and then play on Saturday. So looking forward to it. It's been a great spring, and we got to finish this out the right way with the next 2 practices. So I'll be glad to take any questions from there.
How's your arm?
My arm is good. Looking forward to throwing out the first pitch at softball. I was a bad, like in a good way, bad, you know what, softball, church league softball player back in 1999, 2000, Blacksburg, Virginia, man. Blacksburg United Methodist Church when I was living in Blacksburg. So I know I haven't played softball since then, but I never pitched, and it was slow pitch. Church league softball, so I've never done fast pitch, but I'm looking forward to getting out there and supporting Bev, Coach Smith, and her team tonight as well. So I hope to throw a better pitch than what I threw at the baseball game last year. I'm still disappointed in my first pitch at baseball as well, unbecoming of me.
Shane, will you be throwing it underhand fast tomorrow?
I think so. I don't know if I'll be throwing it fast. I'll be doing it underhand. So I guess that's the proper way when you throw out the first pitch at softball, that you're supposed to do it like you do in softball. So I won't be injuring my arm throwing it with the velocity that they throw it, but I won't try and do the lob either. So as soon as we finish this, I'm going to go down to the indoor and work on my throws a little bit so I get the technique down.
Just rough estimate, Shane, you mentioned last year. Do you know about how many players won't be playing Saturday? I mean,
Yeah, I would say the guys, if y'all were looking at the ones that weren't out there today at practice, I would say the ones that didn't practice today probably wouldn't play on Saturday. There's a few. We're going to release the teams once we have a better idea. I've done a tentative roster for both teams, the Garnet and the Black, David, but I haven't. We're not going to release it yet because there's a couple guys that didn't practice today that were hopeful that we will get back for Saturday. But the ones that weren't doing anything today, the majority of them won't be doing anything on Saturday. So whatever that is, 10-ish, somewhere in there probably.
Shane, you've been around this game long enough to know that if a player or two breaks out on Saturday, you'll have fans and maybe some of us in the media will start out getting, hyped up saying, all right, what will be the angle going into fall camp?
Yeah.
How much stock, I'm sure both spring practices and in the game itself, but, how much stock do you put into the game itself, though, in comparison to practice? I'm sure they're both equally important, but to kind of explain the process to people that are on the outside.
No, I think it's I put a lot of stock in it because I do believe, Mike, that now I'm not going to discount the previous 14 practices and then all of a sudden the guy just shows up or disappears or whatever it may be in practice 15 where you read too much into that. But I do think there's something to be said for guys that when the lights come on, they take their game to another level. And we've talked about it as a team the last 2 Saturdays, even just going into the stadium for scrimmages. That when we go into that stadium, it needs to be a different mentality, and it's for real, and it's like a game. And some guys step up, and some guys disappear in a lot of ways. And I think the spring game is another opportunity to go in the stadium, but it's going to be even more magnified now because it'll be on television, it'll be on radio, live, it'll be much more people in the crowd, and it'll be interesting to see how a lot of these guys handle that and respond. So I put a lot of stock in it from that standpoint as well. Weighting it also, we're also evaluating the previous 14 practices before it as well.
Shane, I know you mentioned each group has a theme song. Are you able to share a couple of those?
I don't even know what they are, to be honest with you. It's not country music, I know that, and not anything that I would know. It's hip hop, rap. It's I hear it every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and they're in our special teams meetings. But I don't know the songs, to be honest with you.
And I know obviously the offense has been banged up a little bit. Jaheim's been out for a while. How do you balance what you've seen from the offense so far to these 14, knowing that you still have some pieces still left to enroll in and get back from it?
Yeah, no, it's been good because you got a lot of guys that have been able to get some work where you have a good understanding of what they can do. With Jaheim being out and Austin Stogner not being here, what an opportunity for Travion Kenyon. What an opportunity. Chad Terrell is working at that position right now. For Jesse Sanders, you guys were out there. Wyatt Campbell's wearing number 80 right now and playing tight end just to be able to help us get through practice. So it's really good opportunities for those guys. But then at the same time, you look around and you're the MVP of the bowl game, and the guy that caught 2 big-time touchdown passes in the bowl game are standing over there on the sideline, and they're not practicing right now. So certainly you miss those weapons. You don't have Stogner here. So you realize that there's not a full arsenal, if you will, of guys out there, but what a great opportunity for the guys that have been out there to really step up and show what they can do with increased reps and increased opportunities.
took me a second. Sorry, I'm out of the loop here. But you mentioned Wyatt. I mean, how much is he actually spending time at tight end during practice? Is he full time there right now? Is he kind of bouncing back and forth?
Yeah, he was. Right now, he's basically full time. Before, he was kind of going back and forth. I guess from last Saturday, Kenyon got banged up a little bit last week. I think it was Thursday. Travion was limited. Tuesday, Thursday, he was kind of limited. So just to be able to get through practice, we just said, okay, you go, play tight end. So he was excited to put on an 80 jersey. The players got a big kick out of it when he was catching some routes, from the quarterbacks and things like that. But right now he's a tight end. He's not going to be a guy that's going to stretch the field and all that. We're not using him in that role. But to be able to block and be able to do, last year we used Trey Jones as a fullback, and he caught a touchdown pass, in short yardage goal line situations. So kind of similar mindset. Wyatt's an offensive lineman first. But he's a guy that in season could certainly, because we're not going to have that necessarily just, massive tight end that you can put in there in short yardage goal line situations to move the ball or move the pile and things like that. So I think he's a guy that, has got the ability to do a little bit of both.
I was going to ask, are we going to see like a Trey Jones style sub package for Wyatt or something like that?
We could. You never know what we'll throw out there as well. So they'll be campaigning for it.
The third 2-point play when we were out there, for the record, I thought it was a catch.
Did you?
By Antoine Wells.
If you notice, Hill, the guy that overruled it came all the way over there on the sideline from where you guys were. So the guy that was the official that was right in front of it, signaled touchdown, and the one that was far away from it, he felt like it was incomplete and was very adamant about it. So I haven't checked the tape on that one, but I appreciate that. The offense, I know, appreciates you saying that.
Well, I was even further away and my vision's not the best, so take that for what it's worth.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what the tape says. But even if that was a touchdown, the defense still got them 6-1. So it wasn't a shutout if that's the case.
And more on the spring game, are you planning to do some of the things that have been done in the past with like the celebrity receiver and those type of things, or do you have some secrets under your hat that you're trying to?
I wouldn't say I have any. I'm being totally honest. I don't have any secrets under my hat, and I really haven't thought about doing anything like that. Not to say that we won't. We'll see how the game's going and things like that. But no, I mean, we want to certainly have some fun with it and entertain people, but I want to see us play football is what I want to see.
And I guess probably to that point, how nice is it to be able to have actual teams this year as opposed to last year where things were a little wonky?
Yeah, no, it's great. Knock on wood, we got to get everybody healthy to the game on Saturday. But it's nice to be able to break it up to actually have a second offensive line. I mean, last year at this time, you guys remember. We were using our second team corner defensive back. Our second team corner was a walk-on that had just come out on the team in January and started out the spring as the receiver and ended up moving to DB, come out of the walk-on tryout, and he was our backup defensive back last year just because we didn't have a lot of these guys here at that point, and then we had a bunch of guys with injuries and things like that. So to be able to have a second group, and don't get me wrong, we're not just overloaded with depth. There's still some positions that are concerning, but from a depth standpoint, but at least to be able to break it up into two teams and have it evenly matched was is really good, really good.
Couple for you. Are you going to be the head coach for both teams, or are you going to designate assistants to be head coaches for the respective teams?
Probably going to designate it. I've broke up the coaching staff at this point where the coaching staff is on two different teams, and I was going to sit down with Coach Limbo, Coach Satterfield, and Coach White today to finalize all that stuff. But I'll be out there on the field blowing the whistle because just, for sacks and things like that, I'll be out there for that. But leaning more towards just, each team has their own head coach and let those guys go and make decisions.
And besides avoiding injury, what do you consider a successful spring game performance? Do you want to give the fans what they want, which is a lot of points and a lot of big plays, or what exactly would you take away as a successful spring game?
If you have a huge day on offense and the narrative is the offense and what's wrong with the defense, and if the offense doesn't score, it's what a great defense we got and what's wrong with the offense. So to me, you'd love to see both sides, have some success, some players that step up and make some individual plays. And then for me, it's really just the efficiency and just the way we operate and guys performing? Does it look like a well-coached team? Does it look like the kind of team that we want to have here at South Carolina? Hopefully we walk out of there on Saturday night and we feel that way as well. I'm a guy. I've worked for a previous head coach where going into the spring game, he was gonna take our best pass rusher off the field, so the defense only had 10 players, so his offense could score some points in the spring game. I won't say any names, but I'm not to the point of that where I want the offense to have so much success where I make the defense play with 10. But I do want to see both sides certainly have some success, and feel confident that we will.
Shane, looking down here, I had Blacksburg United Methodist Church softball league on my bingo card today, so thank you for that. 2 questions for you. Will it be 15-minute quarters Saturday night? And 2, have you decided on how you'll split the teams up? Will it be 1v1s or will you mix the guys?
No, it'll be mixed. Quarter-wise, we're leaning towards, again, kicking around some things. It won't be 4 15-minute quarters. We're going to meet on that today and finalize everything, and we'll get all that information to you. And then team-wise, it's literally I just sat in the staff room last week and kind of went through the depth chart by position and just bam, Garnet, black, Garnet, black, Garnet, black, and just kind of broke it down that way. So if Jordan Strawn and Jordan Birch are your top 2 guys listed at defensive end, one of them is going to be on one team and one of them is going to be on the other. And if Josh Van and whoever or wherever at receiver, one's going to be on one team, one's going to be on the other. So the one position that we probably will, keep that continuity is just the offensive line, where you may see the majority of that group stay together on one team. But other than that, we got to get used to playing with different people at all times.
Shane, obviously you brought back, I think, just about everyone on the staff this year. But on Clayton, when you look back at when you interviewed him and brought him in and what stood out, and you decided that he was the guy you wanted to run the defense, I guess just what was it about him that stood out? And I guess what were your kind of initial takeaways about why you felt like he'd be a good fit? And I guess what have you kind of seen from him now going into year 2 as well?
Yeah, I'd always heard of him. I didn't know him, and then like a lot of the guys that I hired, just the more that I researched him and talked to people about him, the more I liked what I heard. Obviously, Des Kitchings was on our staff at the time, and he and Des knew each other from their NC State days, I guess. And then just kind of looking at Clayton's track record and who he had been around, who he had coached, defensive background, special teams background was appealing. And then you just looked at, for me, it was what he had accomplished as a coordinator at Western Kentucky, and was impressive. And then for me, really, just talking to him, like when I talked to Luke Day or anyone else, it was just the fit. You felt that connection, and I talked to a lot of different coaches, not just for defensive coordinator, but all the different positions, and really took my time on it. But kept coming back to Clayton, and I think he's fantastic. Got a great family, first and foremost. He's a great person. He's a really good linebacker coach as well. He's got a great understanding and feel for the defense and the coaches on his staff. I think he's a fantastic motivator, with our defense as well. Don't know what his long-term goals are, but I think he'd be a phenomenal head coach, if he ever got that or he will get that opportunity if he wants it. I think he's great. And, we're really, really fortunate that he's here with us as well. And he's been a great, he was the right fit at the right time for what our defense needed, in my opinion. And that's my opinion. And that's, what a lot of the older players on defense told me last year, that, he was exactly what our defense needed.
Shane, as we're just practicing the spring game itself, away from spring wrapping up, going into spring, what were some of the questions, maybe I wouldn't say concerns, but some of the questions you wanted to be able to have answered about this team once spring ball wrapped up? And if there is any questions still out there, what are some of those questions?
I think the biggest thing, not necessarily position-wise, but just overall team, was me being very, very cognizant of any I don't want to use the word complacency, but coming off the season that we had and winning 3 out of 5 and winning our bowl game like we did, making sure that our players weren't comfortable when they came back out there to start spring practice. And I saw that in January with the way they worked in the weight room. I saw it in February and March with the way they worked in the weight room. And then I've seen it out there on the practice field as well. If anything, they're even more motivated and more driven and hungrier to win more than 7, to be more successful. So the work ethic, I didn't have any doubts. I didn't think it wasn't going to be that way, but that's not a concern. I know how much this group loves to work and loves to compete. And, that's probably the main thing overall. It was a lot of new faces on offense and defense, new faces that are here, seeing how well they blend in. I think those guys have done a good job. Certainly there's, things that we've got to continue to emphasize and continue to get better at, and a lot of position battles that, going into the springtime, coming out of the spring, I wouldn't say necessarily are settled. Defensive end position, that defensive end spot that Sterling's coaching, and Jordan Birch and Jordan Strawn have had really good springs. Now, who's the 3rd and 4th and 5th guy behind them? Trying to get that sorted out, and Zach Pickens and MJ Webb and Tonka and Boogie have had really good spring practices as well. Who's that 5th, 6th defensive tackle as it comes out of that. So there's a lot of things that are still to be determined. And we got a lot of young guys, some work in that scrimmage last Saturday. MJ Webb and Zach Pickens, we got a pretty good idea what those guys can do at defensive tackle. So we got a ton of reps for TJ Sanders, Nick Barrett, Devontae Davis, Jakeem Green, Felix Hicks, and DeAndre Martin. So a lot of spots like that, just really trying to figure out, the depth at those positions coming out of springtime. And that was a question mark, and still is in some ways.
Would like to add good golfer to Clayton's resume that you also.
Yeah, he can hit it. He works at it. His son can hit it too, as well.
Him at that Beamer outing. And
Yep.
Wow. What's the plan for the quarterbacks in terms of, I know Spencer's taken a lot of the first team reps, but who's the number 2 as it stands right now, and will Colton and Braden both be live for the spring game?
They have been for the last 2 scrimmages. Colton and Braden have, and they've done a good job with that. It's been great for their development, just getting rid of the ball. Braden Davis has had 2 long runs in the last 2 scrimmages, just coming out of the pocket when he got some pressure and running for a long ways. So I think it's great for their development. That'll be decided this afternoon when we sit down and talk, Sat and Clayton and Pete and I, about the plan for Saturday. We'll see. Haven't made that decision yet. And then as far as the quarterbacks go, right now Luke's been taking the reps with the second group, and they're all working in there. Colton got a ton of work the other day. Braden got a ton of work the other day. Luke got a ton of work the other day. They've all been mixing in with that second group during the scrimmage. Braden, Colton, and Luke all worked with the second team in the scrimmage the other day. Spencer got all the work with the first group in the scrimmage the other day. They mix it up during practice, so as far as if you listed it technically on the depth chart right now, Luke would be listed as the second guy right now, but in our minds, all those guys are in there competing and working. Nope. You good? Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good week.
Okay, guys, that'll do it for Shane Beamer speaking ahead of the spring game. A lot of great insight there and a lot of detail ahead of the game on Saturday. Great to hear. It's actually going to be a real game. That's what I'm most excited about, probably from what he said. It's actually going to be 4 quarters. It's last year was weird just due to lack of depth, and it was just a lot of 7-on-7 and situational and really just drills and stuff like that. But it sounds like, again, he's confirmed it will be a game with 4 quarters. Looking forward to that. Really, really exciting stuff. James Kendall says 7 a.m. here in Maui waiting on the bagel shop. Love that, James, dude. I would love to visit Hawaii one day. I've never been. Would love to visit. So I hope you're having a great time, James. Hope you're having a great time. Appreciate you tuning in. But again, Shane Beamer confirming as we dive into the second hour here in the Daily Crow on this Tuesday that it will be a 4 4-quarter game, which, like I said, is really exciting. Travis says, good to see a game and not all the drills. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to critique a coach because of how he decided to operate a spring game. But, selfishly for us, for the fans, we want to see these guys in game situation. And so that's going to be really, really cool. They're going to split things up. And we will get to see this team in a game situation, if you will. Courtney, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in as we're here on the second hour. Like I said, guys, a quick reminder, by the way, with the content. Tomorrow, we will not have the Daily Crow as normal noon to 2. Okay? We're not having the Daily Crow as normal noon to 2 tomorrow. Instead, yours truly will go live from the Women's Basketball National Championship Parade, celebrating the team winning that national title. So, again, really, really excited for that. Really excited for that and looking forward to it. Again, guys, so just want to let you all know, going to be a little bit of a switch up, but that is what we're going to do. That's how we're going to operate tomorrow. Of course, podcast will drop tomorrow as well. And that'll focus on tonight's game against North Florida and look ahead to the weekend series against Ole Miss because, of course, that series starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Friday's podcast will be a huge football show, breakdown, preview of the spring game, my full thoughts on it, players to watch for, all that good stuff. So, again, guys, going to be a ton of fun. Let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I want to continue to hear from you. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody was calling me. Anyways, yeah, phone lines are open, 843-790-3377, 843-790-3377. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Again, guys, in case you missed it, Shane Beamer has confirmed that the spring game will be a 4-quarter game. It will be a 4-quarter game. So, excited for that. Let's see. Cody, it's a beautiful day outside, man. Mid-80s all week. Fantastic weather. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, so looking at North Florida, they are 13-20 overall, 4-8 in their conference. Let's see. Most recently, they're in the ASUN, of course. Most recently, they lost to Jacksonville. They did win that series 2 out of 3, though, but lost the Sunday game. Yeah, so common opponents, they played the Citadel, lost to them 8-1 on a Tuesday. Let's see. Anybody else? I think they played Florida earlier in the year, lost 11-2 in a midweek. They also played them on a Wednesday, lost 3-1. And they played PC to open the year, lost 2 of 3 to them, losing the Friday and the Sunday game. So South Carolina, listen, it's a game South Carolina should win. I mean, no doubt. I've dropped my official prediction for it 8-5. I do think the Gamecocks will get the job done. I'm not saying it's going to be a dominating performance of any type, but I think the Bats will stay hot for the most part. I think the Gamecocks find a way. I think the Gamecocks find a way to get the job done. I do think they will do so. Let's see. Michael Ray Lynn, who should start, Juju or Marshawn? Well, Michael Ray Lynn, here's the thing. Are you not factoring in Christian Beal Smith, Lavoisier Carroll? I don't think it's as simple as just Juju or Marshawn. I don't think it's as simple as just those 2 guys. You know what I mean? So I think it's, I think there's other guys that are fighting for that job and fighting for reps. So, I think the one I'm most intrigued about is Christian Beal Smith. And we're talking about a guy that led Wake Forest in rushing. I mean, a potent Wake Forest attack. A potent Wake Forest attack. So, yeah. Really excited about the running back position. Luke RJ. So Beamer does care about production when the lights come on at the spring game. What exactly do you mean, Luke RJ? I mean, I think he cares about all of it. I mean, they want to put on a show. So, you know, yeah, I mean, they're going to have recruits there. I mean, you know, it's an opportunity to show off the program, if you will. So I think they certainly care how it goes. So, anyways, Cody says Gamecock baseball has had their good games and bad games. We just need to stay consistent. Well, again, Cody, and I said it earlier in the season, but inconsistency, that is a trait of a bad team. And we are as inconsistent as they come. We are truly as inconsistent as they come. So, you know, we are as inconsistent as they come. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Let's see. Yeah, really, really excited, man. I'm really excited for the spring game to be an actual game instead of what we saw last year. I mean, last year was just, you know, last year was just, you know, wasn't exactly fulfilling. We didn't feel like we got exactly what we signed up for. So, yeah. Cody, are you going to be at the charity basketball game Friday? Cody, my plan Friday is to head out to the Gamecock Bourbon Society event and then go to the baseball game at 7:00. So I was not planning. I was not planning on being at a charity basketball game. I'll put it to you that way. Was not planning on it, my guy. Are you going, Cody? Are you going? Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in, man. Appreciate you all the love and support, man. When it comes to the content, the business, everything we do, thank you so much, man. I can't say it enough. You guys' love and support means the world. Without you all, TSUS would not be what it is and what it's becoming. I thought it was also very interesting. I thought it was also very interesting to hear Shane Beamer say that Luke Doty right now, Luke Doty is QB2. I mean, you know, how many people were expecting that? How many people were expecting Luke Doty to be QB2 right now? I mean, I think many had just sold their stock completely on the guy. So, you know, I mean, heck, I mean, maybe next year he is your starting quarterback again. I know many of you wouldn't be thrilled with that. Luke RJ, I guess we shouldn't overreact over someone that does good in the spring game, but Beamer said it still matters who plays well. I mean, look, listen, Luke RJ, we will though. We will, right? We're fans, we're fanatics, we're so pumped for football. We're so pumped for football. So let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Zachary.
Zachary, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you asking, man. What's going on?
You know, I'm excited for the spring game this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man. I mean, it's you know, I don't think you can find a Gamecock that isn't excited for it.
Yeah. I plan on trying to attend the event live. Yeah, that's hoping to see Spencer at least throw one touchdown. I don't know how long they're going to keep him out there because, you know, you don't want to show off too much.
I mean, I don't think it's that. I just don't think you want to risk injury. I mean,
well, that's true.
You think the spies at Georgia and Clemson are going to be watching our spring game, trying to scout our plays?
I didn't say all that. I'm just saying, you know, you don't want him out there. You know, that's basically.
No, yeah, I mean, you know, he's your dude. You don't need to risk injury or, you know, I totally agree with you. I think you'll probably see him out there 3 or 4 drives and call it a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a spectacle. I think Beamer's going to try and make it as much of a spectacle as he can because like he's going to call a few deep shot plays here and there to show off to the recruits and all the people at Gamecocks, all the people there to see like, hey, this is what we got here, and show some reason to be excited.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think so. I think Beamer understands, man. Like I said, this is an opportunity to showcase the program. There'll be recruits there. Fans are excited and looking forward to things. So I think certainly he knows that. And, I think without a doubt, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to put on a show and, get everybody fired up and hyped and excited. And, going into summer, going to SEC Media Days, and, of course, going into kickoff on September the 3rd or whenever it is. So, yeah, I think definitely they're very self-aware, and they're going to use this opportunity to fire up the fans even more. Why not? Just put on a show for the fan base.
Yeah. So my thing about it is you said Luke Doty's QB2. I'm not shocked by that. I think there's just going to be some people who, like you said, just so soft on Luke Doty that are upset about this because just taking all the factors, like dude was injured most of the season. Dude was playing injured. It was a new offense. It's just like how he wasn't at full time at receiver the year prior. At quarterback the year prior. Like all those factors have to play into like performance.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. So, it's a little interesting to me that Doty's at QB2. But it's these coaches aren't complete idiots, my guy. They're not complete idiots, and they're not just going to put people out there just to do it. Obviously he's played well enough to be, your second quarterback.
Yeah. I'm really excited that Antoine Wells has gotten all the hype that he's getting because, you heard, you worry about the transition from a small place like James Madison to the SEC, but I'm like, Nick Muse did pretty well in the SEC, and so it shouldn't be that big of a concern. So I guess that's just like everyone's different. I guess.
Yeah, it's certainly a storyline around him because it's not the same. Just flat out call it for what it is. It's not. The defensive backs he's going to be seeing on a week in, week out basis. It's not the same. I'm not even gonna try to pretend like it is. But the dude's obviously an athlete. You don't put up the kind of numbers he did if you're not good, if you're not an athlete. So yeah, I'm excited, man. And again, everybody's been raving about the kid. So I definitely think he should have a big impact for us for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris. How do you think the park is going to be down there? The parking down there.
Gamecock Park is going to open up at 3:00, and it's going to be free to the public.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be pretty. I think it'll be pretty busy, my dude. I think it'll be pretty busy.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause, I just know I have to get down there early, and I'm like, God, because I just know it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be as crazy as a normal game day. We all have dreams in our heads of 80,000 being there, but I think it'll be about 35,000. I don't think it'll be anything overwhelming. I'd love to see 40,000. Yeah. I think that's kind of about the cap. I think probably. So.
Yeah.
But you never know. I'd love to see us put 50, 60,000. That'd be incredible.
Free is free, Chris. So.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, it's like people make jokes like, you can't beat free. It's like if you tell me something's free, then I thought it was like you gotta beat people back with sticks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris. Thanks for taking my call. If you're going, I hope I run into you there.
Yeah, man, for sure. I will definitely be there. We're gonna do baseball first, then walk over to Willie B and go to Patrick Davis's concert, and then go in the spring game. So that's the plan. Yeah, let's definitely link up, my friend.
All right.
For sure. Thanks, Zachary. Chris. Take care, my guy. Great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, guys, I want to continue to hear from you. Jeff Gullett says, I don't understand the negative takes on Luke. I have no problem with being QB2, leaning or learning, getting healthy, like you've said. Spencer hopefully will be a one and done because he balled out and goes to the NFL. Then Luke comes in as QB1 next year. I don't understand why anyone would be against that. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was fine with Luke. I mean, I was one of the Luke Doty defenders. You might remember last year. I was one of the Luke Doty defenders last year. So, Josh Travis is projected offensive starters: Rattler, Lloyd, Van, Wells, Bell, Stogner. Same offensive line. Where am I wrong? Change my mind. Yeah, I mean, I think that's about right, my guy. I think you pretty much nailed it. Will it be Marshawn Lloyd? That's my biggest question. Will it be Marshawn Lloyd? Yeah, I think the offensive line, again, you return your top 8 starters or top 8 guys from last year. So it's going to be very similar unless you pick up somebody in the transfer portal. I mean, there's been 2 guys from Georgia that left, so I would love to see us go after them. Anyways, Sean Wells going to the baseball game tonight. Very good, Sean. Love to hear that. Love to hear that, Sean. Yeah. Luke Doty and C. Philly are best friends. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I just thought last year, I thought Luke got, I'm not saying he's some All-American quarterback, but I think he got way too much of the blame last year. I mean, you put in Jason Brown. What did Jason Brown get that Luke Doty didn't get? What did Jason Brown get that Luke Doty didn't get, right? Jason Brown got a run game. His first start, Carolina ran for 284 yards. I guarantee you if Luke Doty got 284 yards of rushing support, he also would have had a good game. I mean, Luke Doty was asked to do everything. South Carolina was in 3rd and longs all the time, which was a dead down for them. Truly, was a dead down. So I'm not saying he was great. He was also hurt. I mean, he was also, for a fact, he was hurt. Never was 100%. So while he wasn't great, I mean, I just thought he got way too much of the blame last year, dude. Way, way too much of the blame. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Luke RJ.
Luke, what's going on, my guy? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm drinking lattes today, bro.
Drinking lattes on a Tuesday in the middle of the day. Love to hear it.
Ultra lattes. Not bush lattes, ultra lattes. But I got a question for you. So I'm trying to hype everybody up. Not Spencer Rattler, no all SEC QB for some. What realistically? Now, what are we thinking for his stats this year? Like, passing yards, touchdowns, passing touchdowns. What are we looking at?
Projected stats for Rattler?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, right?
I mean, what's the ceiling? Because what's the last quarterback?
Listen, I don't think he's gonna throw like 40 touchdowns. I don't think he's even gonna throw like 35 touchdowns. I think somewhere between 25 and 30, I think would be a fantastic year. I think it would. And I think it's very possible, by the way. I think it's very, very possible.
Okay.
I say 27 touchdowns. 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Something around there. I mean, it's hard to project, right? It's hard to project. 27 touchdowns, 9. That's just right now, just off the top of the dome. 27 TDs, 9 interceptions, throws for 3,300 yards. Which, again, I think would be a pretty good year.
3,300.
I think that'd be a pretty good year.
Oh, absolutely.
3,200. Go 3,200. Maybe 33 right. 3,200.
3,200. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. It'd be hard to add up. Like, I'd like to look at, last year with all the quarterbacks, what we had total. It'd be hard to add up all that on a phone call. But, yeah. Well, I mean, what was Bentley doing when his best season?
I think he threw 27. I think he threw about 27. He did have a year where he threw a good bit, but he also coupled that with 14 interceptions. Let's see.
We gotta keep those picks down for sure.
Oh,
9 seems like a lot for Rattler.
I mean, I'm just trying to be fair. I mean, let's see. In the 2018 season at South Carolina, he threw for 3,171 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. That was really the undoing. And then 2017, he threw for 2,794 yards, 18 touchdowns, but 12 interceptions. It's not like he was a terrible thrower of the football. It was just the picks that crushed him. He could never shake throwing the interceptions. So, yeah, you like to keep the turnovers down, obviously. I mean, you'd like to keep the turnovers down.
3,100 yards. The 3,100 yards, that was like the 9-win season, right? Or what?
Yes. So the 3,100 yards, that was 2018. That was the year we lost to Virginia in the bowl game. We went 7-6 that year, losing to Virginia in that bowl game, the final game.
Record.
That was the 500-yard game against Clemson that season.
Oh, okay, yeah. Man, it'd be nice for Rattler to throw over 3,000. I think that throw over 3,000 is definitely realistic. And then, like you said, 27 or 30. I mean, it'd be nice for 35, but that would mean our offense is top 30, top 40, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think a top 50 offense, which is the goal for sure.
Yeah, our rankings for last year were terrible, and I thought it would be better.
Yeah, we were 116th in the country in offense. We were 116th in the country.
Yeah, that can't happen. And the games that we played well, and the run game was working. We had that bye week for Florida, extra time to prepare, and then the bowl game where we had so much time to prepare for that one. If we can play like that and have what we want to do with the second year, I think we can. Rattler can do stuff like that, and our offense can be that good, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Satterfield's next is second year, man. I think he can. We got to think he can figure out, how to have that game-to-game success, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: Are you a big uniform guy? Like, do you care? Are they going to come out in the spring game like with like all decked out? Maybe the Garnet team having or different color helmets. Or are they going to what do you think about the uniforms for the spring game?
So it's funny that you asked me, am I a big uniform guy? Because I got a buddy of mine, my guy Justin. We will literally, ironically enough, again, his name is Justin. But either way, no, I have a buddy of mine. Am I a big uniform guy? My guy Luke RJ. We will talk uniforms for like an hour, like just about South Carolina's uniforms in general. So yeah, I am a uniform guy, to say the least. Now, spring game unis, I mean, I'm not going to be nearly as picky. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see like the Garnet team come out in all Garnet and the black team come out in all black. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Helmets, if they want to do, I don't know. I mean, get a little creative. I mean, this is the time to do it, right? So I'm sure the players will have some input as well. But yeah, we'll see. I have no clue what they're going to do with uniforms or whatever. But yeah, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they come out like, with like, it's the spring game and we're making this like a huge deal and everything. I just hope like the uniforms are like, really creative. And I'm a uniform guy too. People say, it doesn't really matter how you play and stuff like that. And but it determines what you're watching. Like the game you're watching, it determines what you're looking at. I think it's huge. So I'm a uniform guy too. But do you think are they kind of keeping the lights upgrades for the stadium lights? Like
I don't know if the LED I don't know if the LED lights or the new lights are going to be unveiled at the spring game, and I have no idea. So not a clue, my friend. I don't know if those are done. I don't know what the progress is on them. I have no idea. So I'm gonna find out with you, my man. I'm gonna find out with you. So I hope they're done. It'd be cool to see. I mean, it'd be an awesome time to display them. But I just don't know. I mean, I don't feel like there's really been any construction updates like at all. So maybe they're keeping it a surprise. Who knows? That'd be really cool. But yeah, that's been a long time coming, man. I'm really happy. That's been a long time coming. Really happy they're doing that. So
yeah. Well, that was the two things I wanted to talk about. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing, but yeah, man. If Rattler can throw over 3,000 and maybe get 30 touchdown passes, that would be sick, dude. He could to be the first All SEC QB and then get drafted and all that. I mean, what would you rather have? Would you rather have him go straight to the pros after 1 year at South Carolina, or maybe come back another year and play the next year?
So you're asking about Rattler possibly coming back?
Yeah. And would you rather see him just like 50 and then like 4,000? I mean, that would be a fun year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been asked. I've been asked what would deem a successful season for Spencer Rattler, for South Carolina and Spencer Rattler. If he's here for a second year, we did not have a successful year. Like him getting drafted would be a successful year. That means he played really well. He balled out. Yeah, I would much rather him ball out and play well. I understand why it's like, oh, it'd be great to have him come back, but nah, we all know the plan is it's a 1 year deal, man. I mean, literally, I don't know if you saw Spencer Rattler was at the freaking combine. He was like, see you here next year. Like he's planning on going to the draft, which is fine, which is great. Him getting drafted, that's a successful year for Spencer Rattler. Again, when you ask about statistics and put a number on touchdowns and picks and yards and stuff like that, it's hard to, but simply put, it will be a successful year, and it will be the Spencer Rattler saga era, if you will, be a success as long as he gets drafted. Because again, I remind you, South Carolina has not had a quarterback selected in the NFL draft since 1989 when Todd Ellis was selected. I mean, think about how crazy that is. So he has a good year. He doesn't even have to win the Heisman, just has a good year, shows off his skill set, his abilities, gets taken in the draft. I think that's just such a big deal for Carolina because I think what it starts to do, it starts to shift the narrative around that position, right? Because, I mean, it's a quarterback-driven game. You got to have the guy under center. So maybe that helps you. Maybe that helps Shane Beamer and Marcus Satterfield or whatever, the offensive staff, go out and recruit big-time quarterbacks. Like, hey, you can come here. You can come here and go to the league. You can come here and be an NFL quarterback. I mean, I think that's something that has hurt South Carolina in the past. I think it is. Because you can have an average team, but if you have that dude in the center, you got a shot. You know what I mean? You got a shot to win some big games and make some noise. And so, again, I think that would be a successful year. So, I know it's like, oh, we'd love to see him back. But a successful year will be him playing well, going to the NFL draft. That'll be a successful year. And I think that's what will happen. I really do. I think he's going to have a good year for us. I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman. I don't know exactly how many wins that's going to translate to right now. I mean, I'll make predictions, but I don't know for a fact. But, at least I think he's going to put his best foot forward, and we're going to put our best foot forward for him to have a great year and, get taken in the first couple rounds in the NFL draft.
Yeah. I mean, let's go. That would be awesome. I think, if he has a good season and he's not like, second or third, this thing's going to keep building, and maybe he comes back and then he's in the Heisman. That would probably be what I would want. The second year is that he just, because we're still building, it's like you talk about all the time. Beamer's building this thing. It's his second year and we're getting better and better. So I think if he came back, his 2 years with Rattler would be better than one for sure.
I mean, but, again, selfishly for us, we'd love to have him back. But again, I mean, he's going into his draft year. Like, he wants to get drafted. So, again, I think it'll be a really successful year if he balls out this year, goes to the draft. You never know. You never know what can happen. But
all right, I'm excited, man. Can't wait for the spring game. I hope they do something a little bit fancier and nice with the uniforms and really go all out with this thing, man. It's going to be awesome.
For sure. Hey, Luke RJ, appreciate you calling in, my guy. It's always a pleasure to chat with you.
All right. Later, bro.
Thanks so much, my friend. Appreciate it. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Travis says, Anthony Wright was the last guy to have somewhat of a decent NFL career, too, but undrafted. Yeah, it's crazy. He was undrafted. Had a great NFL career. Had a really good NFL career. But yeah, 1989. 1989. That was the last time we had a quarterback drafted. I mean, you think about, like I said, how long that has been. How long that has been. Let's see, guys. 843-790-3377. Again, it is game day. Of course, South going to take it on North Florida tonight at Founders Park. Really excited for that. Travis Rowe, unsatisfactory. Unsatisfactory. Well, Brian, his off-field issues is what really stopped Steven Garcia. I mean, listen, if Steven Garcia had the and listen, his personality and his moxie and the way he played the game, just who he is as a person, that's what made him the legend, right? That's what made him the legend. So I'm not even saying, I was going to say, like, if he had Connor Shaw's brain or whatever like that, not even that. If he was just, everything happens for a reason, and he'll tell you that, right? He'll tell you that everything happens for a reason, man. Whether we can see it or not, whether it's painful, whether it's a lesson, everything does happen for a reason. You have to believe that in life. But if he was able to lock in and sort of, stay out of trouble, obviously, I think Steven Garcia is the greatest quarterback in school history. Like, I think South kind of probably goes to an SEC championship with him. I think, I think Steven Garcia up until, excuse me, Spencer Rattler stepped foot on campus. I think Steven Garcia, you could argue, was the most talented. I mean, he was worlds more talented than Connor Shaw. I mean, let's not even, and I love Connor. Connor's the GOAT for me. I'm a Connor guy, right? Connor Shaw is my all-time favorite Gamecock, but I mean, Steven Garcia was immensely more talented. He just, I don't know. I'm not going to slam Steven, man, because listen, we're all human beings, and again, the way he's wired is what makes him. I was going to say made him, but no, makes him a legend. That's what makes him a legend. And you live life to the fullest, and you make some mistakes, man. He was a kid. He was a college kid. Like, it is what it is. He was living the normal college life, but the difference was he was the starting quarterback at the University of South Carolina. So, it is what it is, man. Like I said, none of us are perfect human beings, and we make mistakes. But, yeah, that's it. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. I want to continue to hear from you. We're going to jump into one final break, but more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 15 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Whoops, that's 843-790-3377. Let's see here. Brian Dean says, Connor Shaw, Steven Garcia, Blake Mitchell, Anthony Wright, and Steve Tannehill are my top 5 USC quarterbacks. It's a good list. Travis says, Garcia went to battle for us. He always gave up his body and was a warrior out there. In my opinion, couldn't ever question his heart. Travis Allen says, Coach Elliott is a pretty good team. I look for them to play us a tough first and start to regress in the second half. Brian D says, Chris, how do you think Brian Kelly will do at LSU? I don't know. It's a weird cultural fit, right? It is a weird cultural fit. It is a very interesting cultural fit. Brian Dean says Billy Napier at Florida. That's another interesting one. Again, Florida's a school. There's no excuse. They should win. They should win. They should win. I mean, they should be able to recruit. Shouldn't be any issues. You know, it's a tough job though. Jeff Gullis has just bought my tickets for Arkansas, South Carolina. Very good. I think we're probably going to be doing watch parties again with Carolina Ale House. So I don't know for a fact that I'll be making like that road trip specifically. I don't think I'll be making that road trip. So yeah, I don't think I'll be making that road trip. Brian Dean says, which Carolina Ale House? Well, we threw watch parties at all of them last year, Brian. We threw them all over the state. Whether that be Columbia, Greenville, downtown Greenville, Fort Mill, Somerville. So I tell you, though, our record at those watch parties was not great because we weren't very good on the road. You know what I mean? So we won the first one, you know, the one in downtown Greenville against East Carolina. But outside of that, it was a struggle. I mean, it was a struggle at those. I mean, we just struggled on the road as a football team, right? We struggled on the road as a football team. Yeah, we struggled on the road as a football team. Let's see. Jeff Gollers don't get. No, listen, the dream of the TSUS. The T-Sus bus, my guy. It's the T-Sus bus, Jeff. That dream is alive and well. That dream is alive and well, I can assure you. The T-Sus bus dream lives on. And hey, dude, what we should do, I should tell them, let's do the T-Sus bus sponsored by Carolina Ale House. Wouldn't that be something? Like, dude, you know those, and I know I'm copying these other, the Titans guys. How cool would it be, though, to get, like, one of those old school vans and, like, literally just travel around in that and, like, set up a podcast area in the back and stuff like that? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? So. John Cruz, I swear if we lose in North Florida. Yeah, if we lose to North Florida, no bueno. No bueno for sure. No bueno for sure. Again, guys, less than 10 minutes to go here on this Tuesday. Just a quick reminder, like I said, guys, a quick reminder that tomorrow we will not have the Daily Crow as normal. It will not be noon to. Instead, I will go live from the National Championship Parade. I'll go live from my phone. I'll try to stay live for as long as I can or whatever for that. So should be a lot of fun. Again, I'll take your questions. Obviously in the chat. Obviously won't be able to take phone calls or anything. But I will take your questions, and we'll go live from the parade. But no Daily Crow noon to 2. But I promise you guys, content Bleeding Out the Eyeballs podcast going to be dropping tomorrow. All that good stuff. Brandon Kuhn, who was the worst starting quarterback we had under Spurrier? Beecher in 08 or Connor Mitch in 15? I go Connor Mitch. I definitely go Connor. Connor Mitch was – it was such an interesting saga of quarterbacks under Steve Spurrier. I mean, it really was. It really was. John says, don't know if you know this, but Sean Elliott was on the App State football coaching staff when they beat Michigan in Ann Arbor. Yeah, I think I did remember that. I think I do remember that. Brian Dean says Smelly sucked. Yeah. Chris Smelly was that was an interesting era for sure. Brian Dean says Coach Paris is putting together a nice coaching staff. Indeed. Yeah, indeed. Brandon Kuhn says we started 3 quarterbacks in 08, Beecher, Smelly, and Garcia. Yeah, we did. Now, like I said, it was a revolving door, man. I'll never forget I was at that 2008 South Carolina Clemson game up there in Clemson when Smelly and Garcia both played. And I mean, I will say Smelly played the majority of that game. That was one of the more brutal games I've seen a Carolina quarterback play. And like I said, I've had Smelly on the show, Garcia, I had Beecher on the show. These are all great dudes. They're all great dudes. But yeah, Smelly's career was interesting, to say the least. It was very interesting. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from Rebecca.
Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. I thought I'd call in because I know everybody's wondering about me, probably.
Yeah, where were you at yesterday? We didn't hear from you.
I was doing DoorDash yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right. On the grind. I respect that.
I mean, I thought I'd do that just to get out of the house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Surely it won't affect my Social Security check.
Right.
But I've heard, I know somebody that works for a grocery store for 3 days and it don't hurt their Social Security check. So I
Okay.
thought one day, I would think one day wouldn't hurt my Social Security check.
Right.
Surely it won't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I thought I'd do that, I thought I'd get out of the house and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Get you some fresh air. Yeah, why not?
And stuck up in this house,
Mm-hmm. For
I
sure.
know earlier I was saying that Tennessee and Clemson was bad words.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't a good idea to get me all fired up.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I know you get fired up. Anybody mentions Tennessee or yeah.
I don't give a damn really.
Yeah. Don't give a damn about them.
I really don't.
No, I don't either.
Like that time we was up there at that ball game,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go cut the darn sound off when they was playing Rocky Top.
Right.
But I didn't want to get thrown out of the game, so I kept calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to get thrown out of the game and not be able to see you, So.
No, I had a great time seeing you. I'm glad that I'm glad we made that happen.
Yeah, I know. That'd be something that I won't live that down, I don't think. You got to come back to Tennessee one
Yeah,
day.
hey, I'd love to. I can't wait to come up there for a damn football game. I can't wait to come up for a damn football
this year
game.
it's down in Columbia.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying I can't wait to come up for when Carolina goes back up there. So
I'll be probably getting into a fight with one of them people. I don't know, but I'll try to hold them back on it.
well, Rebecca, I don't want to see you slugging anybody at no game. All right, so I don't want to see you getting in trouble at no game now.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to come down there for this year's down there in Columbia.
Well, if you can make it
Unless I
happen,
can save some money.
if you can make it happen, would love to have you. We'll have a good time.
Surely they'd do the same thing about Leo. Let him in because he's a service dog.
Yeah,
Surely.
we have to figure that out. I'm sure they would.
I thought you were getting tired of the way the baseball's been.
Yeah, I haven't been too pleased with it. I got to be honest with you. Got to be honest. So, but Rebecca, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. We've hit 2:00, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. But yeah, don't be a stranger. Call in anytime.
Oh well, I hope everybody has a good day and everything.
For sure, Rebecca. Appreciate you.
All right,
All
you
right.
too.
Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Great stuff. Guys, again, we have hit 2 o'clock. Thank you all so much again for your love and support. You guys tuning in, everybody that calls in, the commentary, all that good stuff. Again, stay tuned for all of our content. Of course, content bleeding out the eyeballs as always. Podcast tomorrow. Daily Crow not noon to 2. Keep that in mind. Daily Crow not noon to 2. Instead, we'll go live from the parade tomorrow night. And then after that, the rest of the week will be normal. But, yeah, again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And we will talk.